Is Vanessa Mdee your sister?
No, I wish. If she was my sister, I wouldn't be here. That's what I say all the time. I'm like, I would be in the States with my shemeji. We'd be chilling, babysitting, right? But that's a big question, I guess. Vanessa Mdee, I'm like, no. They're like, pole sana. And then they go, na yule, Halima Mdee. I'm like, no. So what are you? What
Mdee are you?
What Mdee are you? I'm the only Mdee that's not related to any other Mdee. But yeah, social media... Speaking of, this is nice that you said this, Vanessa. Because of social media, I post some of my material. But like I said, I also post sketches. Like, a sketch is when we reenact something funny. So I actually posted a video. It was a parody. Like, Rotimi had posted some video of his, celebrities looking cool and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I made a video where I was imitating what Rotimi was doing.
Okay.
And then I posted the video and I wrote me and Shemeji, right? And then I tagged Vanessa. Now me and Vanessa, we don't know each other on a real life basis.
Yeah.
But because of the video, it went viral, and she saw the video, and she commented on the video.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what social media should do. Like, it should help us be seen or be heard at a different level, right? So for comedians, man, it's really dope. I mean, do you know of how people have comedy specials on Netflix and everything? Some people have comedy specials on YouTube. So for us, it's a nice way of putting our work out there so people can see it, but it has to be at the right time. Yeah, I'm very happy with comedians who are proud to post their content.
Yeah.
But again, just be careful, because I have friends who do stand-up comedy in Swahili, and they tell me when they go to Arusha, Mbeya, all these other places, the crowd is actually not happy because they do jokes that they've posted online.
Yeah, true.
And they tell them, hiyo tunaijua, hiyo tupe nyingine. Hiyo tumeisikia. Because they have the stuff online. They have the stuff on TV. So sometimes I get invited to a gig, right? And people are like, we want to record your show. And I ask them, I say, please don't record it, because if you record, you're going to post it and it's going to go out there without my consent.
True.
And there's people that have actually said, okay, if we can't record you, then we don't want you anymore. But they don't realize that they're actually hurting me when they record it and just put it out however they want, right? So it's a tricky situation, but it's good. Social media is good.
We explain on this podcast to people on how you can use social media effectively, and how you can as well make money on social media. Social media is very big, because when you put a piece of content out there, you don't know who will watch, and at what time they will watch, and how is it going to impact them. So I always encourage people, like, whatever you do, as long as you have value to share or entertain, educate people, just grab your camera, record, share it, because you don't know where it's going to take you. And most people that I've seen, they're always consuming on social media. I think consuming will get you nowhere.
Yes, yes.
Nowhere. Yes. Even if you consume for 10 years, 20 years, to get you nowhere. Just have to move to the other side. Just produce something. Yeah. That's what will get you far.
It's interesting you said that, because I feel like there's two types of people in the world. There's consumers and there's creators.
Yeah.
And I always think about it. I'm like, all the hate you might get on social media, all the comments and all the negativity, but you are not a consumer.
Yeah.
You are a creator, and that puts you above a bunch of other people. That sets you apart from the rest. So that's major, man. Shout out to anyone that's, creating stuff. Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Yes.
Who is watching?
Shout out to you, consumer.
We hope. Yeah, you keep consuming. We're gonna do another one tomorrow for you to consume.
Yes, these are the good consumers. These are the ones we want. Yes. This guy is gonna lose his people.
No, it's black and white, you know.
Yes, yes.
MOD podcast, as I said, the podcast that inspires you
Yes.
to shape your future.
Yes.
So we're going to tell you black and white, no lies.
No lies.
You are better off getting off YouTube, wherever you're watching this. You are better off turning off your phone, go create something. Yeah, because we just laugh here, probably totally forget about
Yes.
all the jokes that Hamis Mdee told today, and your life is going to still remain the same. If you're a brokey, you'll still be a brokey unless you create something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's facts, man.
And then when you're done creating, come back and watch us.
Yeah, and then go create again.
And then create.
Yeah, because at least when you come here, you consume, yeah, but
You
at
know
least you
you've
learn
done
something.
something.
Yeah,
Yes.
you learn something good.
Yes.
Yeah, talking about learning,
Mm.
what are the biggest life lessons that you have learned through comedy?
Believe it or not, stand-up comedy has taught me that simply put, it has taught me that life is about balance.
Okay.
That there's always going to be good days and there's always going to be bad days. I say that because sometimes I do shows and it goes really well. People are laughing, people love it, people let me know that they had a great time, they enjoyed the show. And sometimes I do shows and they're really bad.
Okay.
And I go home feeling bad because I wasn't able to make people laugh, right?
Okay.
And that is a reminder that in life there's always ups and downs, because you can be a really good comedian and then some nights are just bad. And that's bound to happen. It's going to happen. Like, you're just going to have some good shows, some bad shows. So it reminds me that life is about balance. And it has also taught me that when it comes to living, like when it comes to living your life, it's almost like you should never take anything personal, or it has just given me tough skin, if that makes sense. Because when you stand on stage, bro, you're public speaking. That is public speaking. And you know the fear of talking to a bunch of people. These are strangers, people I don't know. Some of them are coming from the office. Some of them are coming from home. Some of them are coming from a breakup. Some of them, but they're all here now looking at me, expecting me to make them laugh, right? And when that doesn't work, when I try to make them laugh and it doesn't work, I feel bad. But it has given me tough skin in the sense that the feeling that I get from not being able to make people laugh, it carries on in every other situation in life. When someone insults me, when someone gives me a bad comment, when someone disrespects me, I'm used to it. Like,
Nothing personal.
it's nothing personal. Like, it's just you having a bad day and me being a victim. And sometimes it's me having a bad day and you being a victim, but it's nothing personal. And it's that thing where, you know how people say the older you get, the less you care about what everyone thinks and what everyone, thinks of you. You also get that in comedy too, because you have a bad set, a bad performance, and you're thinking to yourself, man, people are thinking this of me, people are thinking that of me. Now I have to face these people again. Tomorrow I'm going to see them in the streets or in the shops. And then you realize they don't really care. Like, they were there, they wanted you to do well, but it didn't happen. But that doesn't mean they're now thinking of you 24/7. They also have their lives. They're also experiencing their own bad or their own good. So comedy every day for me is just a reminder that, hey man, sometimes are good, sometimes are bad, but you keep on getting up and you keep on grinding. And that has been a really good lesson for me. I don't know if I wish everyone can experience it in their own way, but that is major, man. Yeah.
Talking about challenges and not taking anything personal.
Yeah.
We all like reading comments. Right now on social media,
Yeah.
I think the comment section is like a review section.
Yeah.
Like, when you want to go and buy a product, let's say on Amazon and stuff like that, you have to go to the reviews.
Yeah.
That's like the comment section. So that's how the comment section works right now. So if people laugh, it means more people will laugh. People enjoy the comments more than the content itself.
Yes. Yes. There's people that click on something and immediately go to the comments,
Go to the comment
before they
section.
even watch the thing.
Yeah. So there's one day
Mm-hmm.
I was explaining something about investing in real estate.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the episode.
Okay.
And then someone came to the comment section and gave me a very big insult.
Mm-hmm.
I even feel bad saying it because it's so gross that it can get me cancelled.
Don't say it. Don't
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
Yeah, it's just
Is
so
it
bad.
worse than mine?
Yours was crazy because yours was not an insult. It was just something. It was just something special. At least mine was a straight insult. So I understood it and I took it as an insult.
Mine was, something special. Like
you'll
what
just
you
be left hanging, like you
like
don't know what to do.
interpret it your own way.
Yeah. So someone came and insulted me, and then I felt so bad, like deeply so bad, like because it's something that I could relate to, but it was a very big insult.
Yeah.
I just kept quiet, and it looked personal because it had some personality of me on that insult.
Does this person know you, like personally?
Just a random person on
okay.
the internet.
But
yeah.
they connected.
They connected.
They hit
yeah.
you hard.
Yeah, they hit me hard.
Yeah.
I felt like, why am I doing this? Why am I
Yeah.
spending money? Why am I sitting here spending my time trying to educate people, trying to entertain people? But then I was like, oh, cool. Let me not reply it. Let me just leave it there. I went to sleep. Then tomorrow, that guy DM'd me, and then he was like, oh bro, I'm very sorry. Yesterday I gave you that insult, but I'm going through a lot in my life, and I was drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came to realize that when people come to you, insult you, say something about you,
Yeah.
it's more of them
Yeah.
and not you.
Yeah, going through something. They're going through something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to take it personal.
Yes.
Yeah, just let it slide.
Yes.
Yeah, it tells more about the other person.
Yes.
More than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine I had to learn that through comedy. Like before comedy, I could not have related to, like I could not have known this. But after comedy, that's where I learned it. So I'm very grateful for the things that I've learned through comedy, man. It's been amazing. Yeah.
It's been a ride.
Yeah.
Anyways, talking about comedy, how do you grow your brand? How are you growing your brand and maintaining it? And for a new buy, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are watching
Mm-hmm.
who are aspiring to be comedians one day. Probably they haven't started or they're still coming.
Thinking about
What
it.
advice do you have for them on growing their brand and doing comedy?
Okay, so for someone who wants to start the comedy journey,
Yeah.
my biggest advice would be to find the nearest place that you can do comedy and just go for it. Like, don't overthink it. Don't stress. Don't try and overread the whole situation. Just go somewhere where you can perform and try it out. Because unlike other forms of art, comedy is the one thing that needs to be tested on stage with a live audience. So like I can tell you a joke right now and you think my joke is not funny. And then I go on stage and I tell the joke and people laugh. So there's no real reason, there's no real proof of whether or not this is funny until I try it out on stage. So it takes a while for you to figure it out. But hey man, just go on stage and try it out. Don't stress, don't think about it. Just find a place where you can perform and let the rest unfold. Like sometimes we overthink things. We're thinking then, okay, I'm going to perform and then I'm going to do this, I'm going to do... No, just one step at a time. It's nice to think 10 steps ahead, but sometimes thinking 10 steps ahead is what can stop you from even taking the first step.
True.
Because then you're thinking, but then what if this happens? But then what if that happens? Then now you have fear. And you've created these fake obstacles, things you haven't even experienced yet, right? So if you want to try it, just try it, man. I'm gonna support anyone who just wants to jump on stage and put themselves in the line of fire, because You're literally putting yourself in the line of fire. As for the brand, my biggest way of thinking is I just try and have family friendly material. That's my brand. So I'm not vulgar on stage. I don't I'm very careful of what I post and when I post it and how I post it. All to, of course, um, keep the brand in check. I'm not a big person who thinks of myself like a whole brand and what. That's the truth. Um, so I don't think of myself like, hey, I can't say this, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't do that. No, man, I'm just thinking to myself, what makes me happy? That I think will make other people happy.
Yeah.
What can I post today? What should I talk about today? And that's it, man. So anytime you work with me, if you work with me, I'll try and give it my best. I'm all about giving my that'll be my brand. Like if people because word of mouth is powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, you might think social media is everything, but if you work with people and people say, "Hey, Hamis Mdee is cool to work with," that's even more powerful than what you might see on social media. So my brand is on a personal level. I try to work well with people. I try to give it my best at all times, and I try to stay honest and open with anyone. Yeah, man.
That's a very, very big piece of advice. And I would actually say the same, because most people come to me, although we are trying, we haven't gotten anywhere yet, but we're trying with this podcast. People come to me like, how do I start a podcast?
Yeah.
How do I do it? How do you guys get started?
Yeah.
But you won't believe, this is how we got started.
Mm.
Yeah, most people don't know about it. We were actually in Qatar for the World Cup. I was with my co-host.
Hey, this guy is balling.
I was with my co-host.
This guy is balling. You were with them for the World Cup?
Yeah. So we're going for the match, right? We're going to watch a match, and then my co-host right now, Monty, he told me, bro, I really want to start a podcast. Yeah, but I don't have anyone to start it with. Yeah. I was like, just start it, man.
Yeah.
Just find someone and start it.
Yeah.
He was like, why are you telling me to start it? Why don't we start it? I was like, I've also had that thought in mind before.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, bro, let's start it. Monty is a very big action taker.
Okay.
So the moment we left, we got into the train, went straight to buy mic.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's like straight up went to buy the mic.
Okay.
And like, bro, here are the mics. Yeah. We have officially started. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he lives in the UK.
Yeah.
So like as soon as I come back, we're gonna start.
Yeah.
Same day that he came back, early in the morning, like, yo, let's go. Let's start shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, so just turn on the camera, started right away.
Yeah.
We didn't have to think. We didn't
Yeah.
know what we're gonna get into.
Yeah.
We knew nothing.
Yeah.
We just turn on the camera, start. We didn't have a director. Right now we have director Barrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, who helps us with everything. But we didn't have anyone. We just stand up, switch on the camera, come and sit. Sometimes the camera turns off. We don't know.
You guys are talking. You guys are talking.
Yeah, but the main point here, anything that you wanna do,
Yeah.
just do it.
Just do it, man. Just do
Take
it.
the first step and move.
Yeah. It will make sense along the way.
Yeah, you never know.
You might like it, you might not like it. But the nice thing is once you try, you know then, okay, should I keep on doing it? Should I stop? So that's nice, man.
So comedians, there's a word in Swahili
Mm.
which they say, let me translate it into English. They say artists are the mirrors of the society. Yeah, it
What
means
is it in Swahili?
wasanii ni vioo vya jamii.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically it means you are the one that reflects what's happening in the society. You're the one who mirrors it back. So how do you think comedy is shaping the society for the good or for the bad, whatever it is?
So in my opinion, I think any artist really is truly. I get I get, because I've never thought of that saying. But now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what they mean. Yeah, because we are the public. We're the public speakers. We're the people that are in front of everyone, and we're saying. So, man, it's tough to speak on behalf of comedians because everyone has their own opinion, and you never know how someone feels about certain things. So, for someone who stands in front of people and expresses their opinions, we can only pray that they are expressing the right opinions, right? I mean, if we're facing an electricity crisis as a country, and a comedian stands on stage and makes jokes about it and gets off stage, you know they're only trying to raise awareness. So that's a good thing. If a comedian jumps on and talks about the water crisis, you know they're trying to create awareness of that, and that's a good thing. But you will have comedians who are just for the sake of entertainment who might go the opposite direction. And that's okay.
Yeah, the LGBTQ TV.
Yes, that stuff. The alphabet people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have comedians who just go the opposite direction, and that happens, man. So, in our country, it is tough because, as you know, we don't have freedom of speech. I mean, we're very limited. You cannot openly criticize the government and all that stuff. But, in my opinion, generally speaking, comedians are always going to try and raise awareness of what's happening around us, and I guess that's all we need. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to a point in time where our government will allow us to critique and not get in trouble. Listen, we're only trying to critique because we're trying to find something positive. We're trying to create awareness so things can happen, changes can be made. So if it ever gets to that point, hey man, we're going to push. You know, as comedians, we're going to touch. We're going to keep on testing until it happens. So for that, man, I respect anyone who stands up and just gives us their opinion of what's happening in society and the world in general. Yeah.
You know, talking about criticizing the system, you know, I really love watching Comedy Central, and I really like the way Trevor Noah is always trolling Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like every single day. Do that here, you get lost,
My
and no one
friend,
will ever see you.
You will disappear. Like, you know, I've said this on stage before. I have said the scariest part for us is the fact that you're going to disappear and we don't know what's going to happen to you. Like, we don't know what they will do to you. It is the fear of the unknown that will make us feel sorry for you. You know how bad that is? Because it's good if you know he's going to get a beating and come back. But you know this guy might never come back. And we don't know what they're going to do to him. Hey, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
It's scary. These guys leave it up to your imagination. So that's a scary world, man.
Yeah, you know, the best way to kill someone is make sure their body cannot be found. So if you want to kill someone, just make sure their bodies will never be found. I don't know how you're going to do with their body, but just make them disappear.
I have a question.
That's how you disappear when you critique the government here. Proceed with the question.
I have a question. How do you know the best way to kill someone? You said it with so much confidence. The best way to kill someone is to make someone disappear. Have you been making people disappear?
No, I think I watch a lot of movies.
Those crime investigation.
Yeah, crime investigation.
Okay. I like those. Hey, that was scary, man. I was concerned for my life. I was like, hey, am I on the right podcast today? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Like, if I joke with this guy,
it's going to make me disappear. And it's very far from where I came from.
Yeah. And actually, just close to here, there's a place, you know, there's one artist who always used to criticize, you know, always used to criticize
the system.
The system, yeah. You probably know him. His name is, so there's a time I don't know if it's a sure story or it's just one of those internet stories.
Mm-hmm.
By the time that he was taken,
Really?
it didn't disappear completely, but he was taken. And I heard from one of his songs, like I was taken and I was being kept on some haunted houses near Ununio.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just right there, not very far from
your studio.
yeah, from where you are.
So what you're trying to say is
Be
that,
careful. Be careful with your jokes.
guys, I was last seen on this podcast on this day and time. I'll be careful. I try. My material is not controversial. I try and keep it simple. Yeah. But of course, the audience will be the judge. The audience and the government will be the judge. Yeah.
Anyways, on a journey of doing comedy, being a comedian, what's something that you are really, really proud of? Like when you look at it, you pat yourself at the back, like Hamis Mdee.
Yes. Oh man, I think the biggest moment for me was, okay, there's two that are very close. The first time you travel as a comedian is always going to be something major, as in like out of the country, not travel from Dar es Salaam to Morogoro. No, first time you travel outside is always going to be huge. So the first time I traveled was to Kenya to do stand-up comedy, but the biggest one so far, because I've performed in front of a lot of people. I've performed in front of Diamond Platinums. Oh, dog. If you're performing in front of Diamond Platinums, that's a good thing.
That's true.
But the biggest, maybe, I think it's my trip to South Africa.
Yeah.
Last year, I went to do stand-up comedy in Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay.
So that has to be huge so far. That's a really proud moment for me. I did 10 shows in Cape Town.
Okay.
10 shows in 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah. 8 days, 10 shows. Because here, so here's the thing. You know how young, I told you our industry is young.
Yeah.
In Dar es Salaam, dog, you're going to be lucky to do 2 gigs a week, right? In Cape Town, South Africa, I was doing 2 shows a day.
Okay.
Not a week, a day. Like you can really perform every day of the week. You don't have to wait for next week. Tomorrow. So I did 10 shows in 8 days, and I'm proud of that because it was purely for stand-up comedy. Like I wasn't there to do something else and then try comedy. No, it was there for comedy.
Okay.
Right? And I got to perform with some of the coolest comedians, people that have mentored me throughout the years, people that have been in the game for 10 years plus. Like I'm performing with guys who really know what they're doing. So that was really huge for me. Cape Town, South Africa, so far. Yeah.
That's really great. As you heard, guys, Hamis Mdee performed in front of Diamond Platinum. You know, most people, they don't know how big Diamond Platinum is, but
Yes.
he is, in my opinion, the biggest musician that our country has ever seen so far. And if you guys really wish, I don't know how good he is at speaking English though, but if you guys wish to see Diamond Platinums on this podcast, we'll bring Diamond Platinum on this podcast. Just comment down below Diamond Platinums.
Comment.
My last question. Most people don't like to hear this kind of question.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself? What are your future plans with this comment thing? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
I know why they don't like that question.
Like, oh, my mom told me not to share my dreams.
Yeah, these questions that you ask in an interview. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Hey!
Do you want to stop me from being there?
Man, in the next 5 years, I see myself touring, like performing in different countries. Before these 5 years pass, I will perform in Europe. That's a dream for me. That's something that I want to do next. Because at first it was like I just want to go somewhere like close by Kenya, and then I went to Kenya, And then I was like, I want to go to South Africa. And then I went to South Africa. So now I have my sights set on a bigger goal. So definitely, I would love to perform in Europe. And I want to focus, in the next 5 years, I want to focus on comedy only. I don't want to have a day job. I mean, it's great to have somewhere that you get money, but I believe that I need to then reach a point where I can say, okay, let me focus on this 100%.
Okay.
So that's a huge thing for me. I need to tour, meet more people, make more people laugh. And I've always said this, my dream is to represent my country.
Okay.
Since the beginning, I've always said I would love to represent my country on the global stage.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Inshallah, it's gonna happen. But one thing you talked about, focus.
Yeah.
I like focusing. I love focus. But I don't know why it just happens whenever I try to focus on one thing, more things will come out of that one thing. And then the focus will be gone. How do you get along with that? You just keep doing, you'll be doing comedy, and then, okay, now I'm doing comedy. Then you'll be like, okay, from this comedy, I can be just creating jokes for other people, or I can just be producing. As you can see, Kevin Hart doing comedy, but he has a production company. He acts movies. You get lost into that.
Yes.
How do you handle that?
The most important thing for us is to never fall far away from stand-up comedy. So that's a good example you gave of Kevin Hart. He has all these things going on, but he will always come back to stand-up comedy. And that's fine. I think it's important to have these things. Just don't fall too far away from it, because when you stay on one thing for too long, you get tired. You get exhausted, you lose motivation, creativity. But when you have these other outlets, those are your places to play. That's where you can rest. So it's important. So when I speak of focus, it's the same. I'm going to focus on stand-up comedy. If there's anything else that I'm going to do, it must be a result of stand-up comedy. If it's going to be a movie or a series or a podcast, or if it's going to be writing for a TV show or writing for other people, it must be amongst that, right? But the point is, nothing else must then come in the way and totally remove me from stand-up comedy.
Anyways, guys, we have had a very long talk with Mr. Mdee. I think it's time for him to have that 1 hour journey back to where he came from.
Back home.
Back home. God. As always, it's been your host, Musa. I'm here with Mdee. If you have reached this far, like this video, comment down below. Do you want Hamis for another episode? Do you want a part 2 with Hamis Mdee? Let me know down below in the comment section. Hamis, do you have anything to say?
Thank you so much for having me, man. That is the most important thing that I can think of right now. It means a lot when someone sees something in you and actually reaches out and says, hey man, can we sit down and do something? For us in this industry, it's a huge thing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched this episode, everyone who supports your journey and listens to this. Also, guys, let's be happy. It's a tough world we're living in. Everyone is stressed, everyone is going through something, but hey man, every once in a while you should remind yourself that life is about balance. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but always stay happy, stay positive, stay shining. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much for coming. Thanks so much for accepting this invitation. It really means a lot to me, because a lot of people deny. There's always this nigga with glasses inviting me, but thank you that you're here.
Thank you.
And for you are watching, bye. See you in the next one. Before you go watch some other videos. We have a lot of videos, a lot of educational videos. I'm sure after switching this off, you can learn something new. Bye.